identical in it. And the language is identical with the little guys too, so you'd have to pay attention, and you can get little when you want to. You just got to keep your knees off the ground. But if I'm listening to him, he brought his head up and I've praised him by actually acknowledging my presence, which was the feet. I'm going to make myself small so that he doesn't feel intimidated. Okay. So there's some nice gestures for you to see. The first one I went up to him, second one I paused, and it's the pause that let him know that he's being heard. I just needed acknowledgement. I'm getting up to actually say, still pay attention to me, don't leave yet. So very subtle, which was, I'd love for you to stay, and he's reaching out. I'm going to ask him the same thing, but he doesn't have to oblige, so he's touched my hand twice. He's not going to lift it. Yeah, you're not going to get him off of you now after this scary horse. So all I wanted was the head up. So the pressure's the proximity, and then I'll say thank you for raising your head. So I've basically gone up, touched him, walked away, gone up, asked for acknowledgement. He came to say hi. He then left to say, is that it? Okay, we want the same response, really. His eyes on me, the ears on me. He's going to make his decision. There's your decision zone. It's going to go sideways if need be. I'd like him to pay attention. So if I put the pressure on the hind, two things can happen. One, there we go, he's yielded. I'll acknowledge the yield. So dropping my eyes down. I'm going to get up before he turns his head away. And get a little bit smaller to say thank you for raising your head up. There we go. A little harder because you've got to get big and small. Good job. And I'd like to rub him with the lead rope. So when I've asked Tina, there we go. When I've asked Tina, how did you catch him, if you can't get a halter near him, her response was through the mane. So I've asked him to stay here, good job. Come forward a step and then stop. So with the horseman's rope that we have in this, so closing the fingers just said, stay here with me. There you go. And thereby I haven't had to hold on to this area. This would be the TLC work that you guys did too. So I'm asking for a forward step, head up. I'd like a forward step and a pause. Nice. And a stop. I want him to panic with it. Like him to stand here with it, so I just got to make sure he doesn't slip out of it. So that means come forward and stand. Come forward and stand. There. So when I want to take this line off, I don't want him moving back. So I'm asking him to come forward, just got to watch that nose, he doesn't slip out of it, and stand, praising him for coming forward. Nice. There. Good job. And little by little, we approached him with ease. Now you want to follow? Approached him with ease twice, once without the line, once with. Lines in the hand. Good job. So we want them to acknowledge the line, right? So I want him to learn to touch it so that he can influence that line and be quite comfortable with it. There you go. And you're seeing him pretty comfy, not backing up from the line. So the removal is reinforcer too, and he's standing, and he's no longer eating. Good job. So this is the off eye. One was fed over the top, this time it's the arm over the top. So it's a difference. So you're building in different little lessons. I'd like him to stand. I said drop. But he's staying with the rope. We take it off. He thought about it, paused before he left. Take the rope off. Good man. We see. That's what he's told me about the rope, and this is what he's telling me about the halter. So he's taking the steps back. I'll come in at the angle, and he'll yield somewhat. Go, big fella. So I've got the rope if I need it. It's a lot to handle, the rope and the halter and everything else. And of course he knows when it comes to a certain side that's what it means. So it's all permission. I'd like to come in on this side. He's not sure, so he's blocking with the neck. So, with his permission, you get the halter on. Nice and slowly.
And that was enlarged. I couldn't find one to fit him. I had to have it made.
Good thing he wasn't an inch taller.
Okay, so it's on. We want the petting to be a good thing. And remember, it's the release that counts. Remember, I'd like him to stand when we come up with the line. Pause, because he's thinking of leaving. I'm going to ask him to straighten his nose out, which means putting my weight to the left. If he can, he will. So you see him straightening the nose. If I can get the nose straight, he won't block the side, and I have permission to put the lead rope on. Okay?
That was great.
Yeah. He's not seeing somebody running, leaving, or difficult to catch, but what you're seeing is a communication back and forth. Nicely, long lead rope. We'll ask him just to follow the lead so that you can see he can. Ask him to pause, body language, no line. He needs to stand, which he's doing, and he needs to stand here, like that, and lead.